Becoming human. Have you ever hated seeing your face in the mirror? If you experience it, then we have the same story. I think the most disgusting thing is seeing my face in the mirror. I feel myself looking so terrible. This story is based on the true story of teenage girl who has just reached adulthood, who has not yet found her identity so well. Yes, it is me. I'm Chacha. I mean in the story. I'm that girl who swallows bitter words of people around, from known to unknown. This experience began when I was in class 11 of high school. Insulting that made me reluctant to appear in public makes me Chacha, always comparing myself with other people. I think of myself as the worst human being. All that I feel because my face is covered with acne. Initially, there was nothing wrong with my face. Everything looked normal like people in general. But one day, my face was forced to make up for one reason or another. It was from that incident that my face started to grow acne. From initially just only one red spot to many. At first, I could accept everything, but day after day, the acne was like a ghost that destroyed my life. So that myself was resultant to see my face in the mirror. I hate my face. I hate myself, and I can't feel whether this is a curse that makes my self-confidence disappear from my own life. Day after day passed, the something that I felt never ending. I began to be shown by my friends at school. They were reluctant to make friends who only looked disgusting when they saw my face. What's wrong with my face? I also don't want to have a face like this, actually. Where was my fault? Was it when I couldn't stop the pimples from coming? Now, try to explain what the mistake was. Isn't normal to have acne, breakouts, and other things? But I can only say it my heart without saying a word. It is not me who is wrong, but you are cruel. You change a teenage girl Chacha into a clothes woman. Doesn't like crowds. So that the personality that Chacha has now is different from the one she used to be careful and like to talk. But after all that happens, Chacha doesn't become herself. Again and again, the insult comes of group of friends at school. Is that face or a grader? Have a face? How come it's not being treated? Have you ever used skincare? Why did it turn out that way? Are you reading it or not? Chacha can only smile and choose to remain silent to cover the pain she feels. All efforts have been made to get rid of the pimples on her face, but everything that has been done is fruitless. Instead, to make the condition of her face worse. Every night, Chacha cries and gets angry with herself. It is not easy for Chacha to accept the insult. Do people not think before speaking whether they don't know what impact this will have on the life of Chacha? A group of people tell Chacha not to think about what other people say about her, but Chacha cannot bear, cannot tolerate the accept all this. Never give up. Chacha always tries to rid acne on her face, but it doesn't work at all. In the midst of despair that Chacha feels slowly but surely, Chacha begins to accept the situation. What else should Chacha do? The only way she can do is accept the reality and not think too much about what other people say. Chacha is starting to be normal. not compare herself to other people who have a face that is not acne. The mind of Chacha began to open after seeing many out there who had acne worse than her. From there, Chacha tried to start to be careful because the Chacha face was not that bad. Chacha felt that she was not alone and began to rise from the downturn she had experienced. However, this face that has Chacha is still faulty and is sure that it will end. Chacha begins to accept her reality and start her friendship with others again. Chacha is no longer ashamed to show her face slowly but surely. Chacha has life like a Chacha that used to be careful and didn't really think about what other people said. Besides, Chacha has already accepted the condition of Chacha. Keep trying and Chacha find a suitable drug to treat acne on her face. Initially, Chacha doesn't realize this because Chacha is reluctant to hope that discovering the natural Chacha will end soon. The day the acne on face of Chacha is getting less and more often. The self-confidence that Chacha has, of course, it is a joy that is difficult to express for Chacha after years of fighting the acne, the note at her face. Everything starts to run normally, even very different. The bitter experience that Chacha naturally considers to be a process of maturity, or Chacha say that the process is a process of becoming a complete human being. Being a strong human being is not easy, going through all kinds of insults and insults. Humans out there talk a lot without going through a talk process. They can only insult and mock without knowing what efforts that Chacha is doing. They also never think the words they say have a bad influence on the Chacha life. This, of course, does not apply to Chacha but everyone. For everyone, think before you speak and just take one in. Finally, Chacha becomes herself and realizes that with gratitude she can lead a more colorful life, not by listening to the words of other people